Terrorism. Terrorism has become a large problem in the world today. Millions of people are affected every year with no end in sight for those being inflicted with fear. So, what is terrorism? By definition, terrorism is the use of violence and intimidation in the pursuit of political aims. Terror groups such as ISIS, Al-Qaeda, Boko Haram, and the Taliban have committed such heinous acts as 9/11, mass genocides, and beheadings. Even most recently in the U.S., we have had the infamous Boston bombing during the April 13th, 2013 Boston Marathon. Since most terrorists are not captured, we wanted to find out what happened to those who are captured, and if they're convicted, how they're punished. Since there are many politics that go into punishing terrorists, we wanted to know what happens to those who are punished, and if they are punished, what kind of punishments do they get? Me and my partner chose two major superpowers, the US and France, and researched how they deal with terrorist punishments in hopes it would give us a solid answer. However, it raised more questions and gave us less hope for finding a proper punishment for those convicted of terrorist acts. The reason for this is neither country has a set of rules or guidelines on how to punish terrorists. They simply don't know what to do with terrorists after they're convicted of the crimes they've committed. A good example of this is the Boston bombers trial still deliberating as we speak, due to the fact the people of Boston and the courts are still disputing his punishments. Some feel he should be executed, and others feel he should spend the rest of his life in prison, making it difficult for everyone to come together and decide his verdict. One thing the United States has compared to France is a prison built specifically for terrorists located in Cuba. Its name is Guantanamo Bay. This prison is not without its faults though, however. It is filled with human rights violations such as torture, and some prisoners have been there for more than 10 years and haven't even been convicted of the crimes they're accused of committing.
However, one thing that France has that the United States does not have are judges and courts specifically designed for terrorism. But this poses a problem because there are many politics that go into punishing terrorists.
These politics that go into punishing terrorists makes it almost impossible to find a good punishment for said terrorist. The reason for this is most people don't know whether to put them on death row and execute them, give them life in prison, or even a lengthy sentence. Sometimes the place they come from wants them so they can deal with them, but this causes other problems. Problems such as transportation become a problem. Also, some countries feel as if other countries do not properly punish their prisoners. Either they punish them too harshly, or they don't punish them well enough, and this also causes more problems.
Most places around the world do not take the time to punish terrorists. They are killed, specifically beheaded for even being suspected of terrorism. This causes many problems in places like the United States and France due to the fact that there's human rights for those being punished in those areas.
So the question remains, how do we punish terrorists? Well, both France and the United States both have a way of punishing terrorists, but they have not perfected it. France with their specialized court systems and judges, the United States with their specialized prison. If we can find a way on how to integrate these ideas, we may finally find the solution for punishing terrorists. This will not prevent terrorism, but it will be a great deterrence, because now we'll have not only specialized courts and judges, but specialized prisons. We must also find a way to come up with a guideline for punishing terrorists. This way there will be no confusion, and there will be a just way to punish terrorists. Once we finally have a set of rules or a guideline, if you will, hopefully we can train people to specialize in these rules so we can achieve the courts and judges we talked about before. And then maybe other countries will also follow in our footsteps, and there will finally be a way to fairly and justly punish terrorists, depending on the severity of the individual's offense. Until that day, we will be stuck with the same old confusion in our criminal justice system on how to punish terrorists. We will have no rules. We'll have debates and conflicts on how terrorists should be punished. Hopefully one day, and one day soon, we will reach our goal, and then all convicted terrorists will be punished properly. But until that day, let's work on getting these plans together. And thank you for watching.